Okay, so 7 older games that still look graphically insane. I know that Red Dead is going to be one of them. I don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2. I mean, the first one still looks very fucking good, and it's like, how old? Like 10, maybe 12 years old now. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a Final Fantasy game on here. Maybe not, but I mean, there's just so many good games that, so many games that still look graphically fantastic. And I think Overwatch 2 is going to be maybe one of them. I could be very wrong, but even GTA 5 still looks very fucking good. Even if you do have to kind of mod it, but even without modding it, it still looks like it's still graphically comparable to most of the games coming out. Maybe not anymore, because I mean you got like Unreal Engine 5 games coming out, so maybe not anymore, but it still should technically be.
Sometimes we look back at video games and we think
God of War wasn't really one of them.
Great, but some games, man, you look
Priceless.
back at them and they hold.
Let's see, Final Fantasy 15.
Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 7 old
Is that
games
Assassin's
that
Creed
still
Unity?
look great.
I think it is.
Starting off,
So
with
I don't think it's
number
Syndicate.
7, and I'm just gonna preface this. There's a few Assassin's Creed games on here, but we're starting off with Assassin's Creed Syndicate because wow, this game came out in 2015. That is 8 years ago.
Yeah, so Red Dead is definitely going to be on here.
PlayStation 4 Plus, PlayStation 4. Look at this game. Now we can talk about
for a
how
PlayStation
nice
4 game, it
when
does
the
look
weather's
really
good,
good.
But I want to just hone in on what this game looks like when it's raining.
It's a lot better than the GTA trilogy thing that they were going to that they brought
only a
out.
couple years after Watch Dogs came out and basically
Really?
flopped all over the place in terms of what it looked like in the rain. They advertised it looking amazing. Frankly, something that would hold up today. And this is the same company, Ubisoft. 1800s London looks amazing
It does.
in the rain. It looks amazing not in the rain, but this is the kind of thing that you
The
want
atmosphere
a game to
is
look like.
just
Like this,
there.
honestly, with a little bit more detail, is what I would want a game to look like now.
Yeah, then you get games like Redfall that is just so
Certainly,
bad.
This game could benefit from ray tracing.
It would.
Absolutely. And the foliage is certainly not incredible. All the new nanite stuff that Unreal Engine is doing blows it out of the water, but this is what
I wonder what would
foliage
happen
looked
if they
like
remade
up until a
this
couple of
game,
years ago,
or like
to be
mod
frank.
it
It
on
got
like
a
Unreal
little bit
Engine
better,
5.
but not a lot. And from a distance,
Like, it would look
just
amazing.
blends right in. It looks natural. When you get up close to it, not so much, but to be frank, this is a beautiful game. I went back to it recently just for the sake of enjoying
I never played
it.
Syndicate,
Yeah, Jacob
but
is
yeah.
kind of irritating, but Eevee's pretty awesome, and it definitely evens it out. To be frank, this is
Like,
just
I know
one
the
of
story
better
of it, but
Assassin's Creed
overall,
games.
I
It's
haven't
super
played Syndicate. I
underrated,
think
and
it's the
world
only
that it
one
created
aside from
is just
Rogue
fantastic.
that I haven't played yet.
I love going through the factories, the rooftops, the more ornate Victorian stuff. It's really a beautiful game. Even if, again, there are a few minor details that would look
I
very
wonder if
different today,
Origins
I
is
think,
gonna be on here,
including
like Assassin's
all of
Creed
the character
Origins.
models. They're definitely above average for their time, but they are of their time. That
Yeah.
said, if a game came out looking like this today, I don't think it'd get dinged that hard for graphics. I don't think anybody would be saying like it's cutting edge or anything.
I think
but look
Origins
at
is gonna
this
be
stuff.
on here
It's
because that
great.
was
There's just so much
that's still a
detail and
visually
love put into the
appealing
world.
fucking game.
And number
Especially
6
when you
is
have,
The
like-
Witcher 3. Now there's two ways to talk
Ooh.
about The Witcher 3. Firstly, in its original form, and secondly,
I was not
in its
expecting
next-gen
this one.
update form. I'm gonna say it's worth talking about both. Because if you do look at this game in its original form, it still holds up. It is a beautiful game
Kinda.
with a world that has been crafted to be
You
absolutely
can clearly see it's a bit
stunning.
dated though. Come on, get to the next
was
gen.
another game that came out in 2015, and I think obviously goes even beyond any of the beauty that is found in Assassin's
Boy, The
Creed
Witcher
Syndicate.
3 was a
Witcher 3
fucking
is
great
just
game.
a masterpiece. There's no other way to put it. It is CD Projekt Red running at their absolute peak, putting out
Yeah.
brilliant work.
And then you get to Cyberpunk, and that was a bunch of mess. It's good now. I know it's good now, but when it came out, oh my god.
It still holds up. Although there are areas where you can begin to see, oh, this has got that old-timey kind of lighting, and
Yeah.
certain things are baked in. Some textures are low res. You can notice them if you're looking. If you're not looking, it's one of the prettiest things you've ever seen. But if you're paying attention,
And most people
why
aren't.
the next gen update was so significant. It brings in a totally different lighting system that just changes fundamentally what you're looking at. It doesn't fully ray trace the entire everything. It brings some ray tracing elements in. I don't really know to what extent, and I don't really care because it transforms what is already beautiful into something that is comparable to almost anything today.
It does, it really does.
Still one of the prettiest games that exists.
But I know there is prettier games out there.
I mean, some of the areas where the lighting kind of exposes that it's a bit of an old game, I don't even notice it anymore. And the detail in the NPCs and the characters is on par with anything I'd expect from
I wonder what they're gonna do with The Witcher 4.
Maybe not a current
Are they gonna start
masterpiece
like
tier
completely
game,
over
but
with a brand new
certainly
Witcher?
above AA.
Or
Witcher 3 is just
are
one
they
of
going
those
to
games
continue
where you
with
absolutely cannot look at it
fuck
at
it,
any point in
what's her
any
name?
location in the game and think, oh, man,
Siri?
they skipped
I
here.
don't think it's Siri.
And number 5 is Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ah,
which is a
see, I knew it was gonna
completely
be on
different
here.
visual look than Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Came out 2 years later in 2017, and to be frank, despite the fact that I think Syndicate is an absolutely gorgeous game.
This game
with a bunch
just
of
is
very
better.
cool different areas one can see. It doesn't really match the kind of variety of what you can see in Assassin's Creed Origins. You've got desert, you've got oasis, village.
Granted, the combat is a bit dated now, but I mean, the game still holds up quite good, quite well.
And the frickin' pyramids. And it's all a pretty big jump from Syndicate. In the 2 years that passed between these two games,
Yeah, but this game was like 10
kind of
years in the
shocking
making,
how
so
much of an upgrade there is.
yeah. Just from the sand to just everything is visually so appealing. Although I hated the sun in this game, like it was so fucking annoying.
Especially considering how good Syndicate looks. These games both hold up today. Although I would say that Syndicate might look like an upper tier AA game, while Origins still looks like a AAA game to me.
Yeah.
And number 4 is Arkham Knight, and here's where we begin to reach an area that is insane. To me, it's almost
this
hard
game
to
actually
believe
does
that
look quite
this
good.
game didn't just come out. It is such a good combination of style, realism, surrealism,
Yeah, but see, this is what
and a gothic
happens when a
that
developer
almost
like
reminds me of Tim
developers
Burton's version of
put
Batman. However, with a
effort
much
and
lighter
passion
color
into a
palette.
fucking
This game
game.
definitely benefits from not necessarily trying to look super realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. It's still a fun game to play.
However, some of the effects in it are just second to none. The rain in particular, seeing the rain on Batman's cape, or reflecting off the road, or any
If you
number
mod
of
this game
situations.
to have like better graphics and better animations, because I'm pretty sure there's a mod like that, this game is actually quite good.
All of the neon lights that are just engulfing this city in ominous reds, icy blues, and nebulous purples. With a few mods,
Nebulous
this game
purples.
looks like
I've
a
never heard that
top-tier
before.
AAA game now. If somebody released a game that looks like what this game looks like with ray tracing and 4K and
Yeah, and what we got was Arkham Knights.
looking games of the year. I know somebody
whatever the game was
but I
called.
think they're wrong.
Gotham
Seriously,
Knights, I
look at
think.
this. Look at all these
It's so
beautiful
bad.
reflections. Look at all this rain, this atmosphere, this architecture. Look at how amazing this looks. This is top tier. What I want a Batman game to look like. And I don't see how you could do better. This is
You
the perfect
can't.
Batman
They
look
tried, it
for a
didn't
video
work.
game. Maybe not for a movie, but what would you do better than this? I don't know. And number 3 is Assassin's Creed Unity. This game actually came out a year before Assassin's Creed Syndicate and takes place during the French Revolution. Now, there are things about this game that I think surpass Assassin's Creed Syndicate. To be frank, some of the buildings in this
I
game
wouldn't put
are
this one above
absolutely stunning.
like
And
Origins
there's less
though.
repetition in environment. That being said, it doesn't have the same kind of variety of different types of things to see as Assassin's Creed Origins, which obviously succeeded both of these games.
But the parkour in this game was quite fun. I have to say the parkour was very, very fucking fun in this game.
And there's some
But it
things
is,
about how
the
crowds
parkour
work
is kind
that
of
can
dated
make
if you
a
compare
little
it now.
awkward, that just don't have the same problems in Assassin's Creed Syndicate a year later. That being said, this is a beautiful game. The art direction is probably unparalleled in any of the Assassin's Creed games following it. It does this thing where it borders on fantasy with its style, rather than just going full realism.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what made any, like, all Assassin's Creed game so good. Like, it didn't try to be too realistic, but it also didn't try and be too fantasy-like.
But again, you have a few of the small minor things that you notice are definitely dated, like the foliage if you start paying close enough attention. Also, some of the NPCs are not quite as detailed as one might expect. That being said,
Yeah, but I mean,
for
it's
a
not
near
a game.
decade-old game, this holds up. It is shocking how much it holds up, in fact. It's one of those games that just does a phenomenal job at transporting you to a different era. Really, all of the Assassin's Creed games mentioned do that exact same thing. And there are a few of these games that do it better than others, but you're looking at a game from 2014 right now. That's, I mean, shocking to think
That's
about.
9 years ago, man. That's
And
insane.
number 2 is Metro Exodus. Now,
What?
this game's not quite as
Oh,
old as the
yeah.
other games we've been talking about. It's from 2019, but there's a really good reason why we're talking about it. This is from before the era of Unreal Engine 5. Completely before.
Yeah.
And I think you could release
I heard
a
about
lot
this
of
game.
the
I haven't
areas of
played it
this
at all.
game as a
But-
quote-unquote tech demo, and people would be like, wow, look at this. That
Yeah, the
looks
game is actually
incredible." And
visually
just to be
so
clear,
appealing.
We're talking about without mods. This is a beautiful game. All of the NPCs and characters.
Although I heard
look
it was like
incredible.
it
And it's not
wasn't
necessarily that they look
a
super
great
realistic.
like.
They do have a
It's a
realistic
good
taste
game,
in
but I
it,
heard
and
it wasn't
everything has that
like
perfect
perfect.
balance of art direction, and everything just feels like a collage that you could photograph and just spend a long time staring at it, looking at all the various little details. Everything's composed incredibly, from lighting effects to the fact that nothing.
So is
looks
number
like it
1 going to
repeats
be
itself
Red Dead?
at all.
Hey, what was that?
Oh, please let it be Red Dead 2. Because that game is kind of old, right?
This is a game that
Came out
runs
in 2018,
on an
right?
engine that you probably not even really heard of. The 4A engine, which is an internal THQ engine that was utilized in all of the Metro games from 2010 to
Arekuse.
2018 and
Ara-
just
what?
holds the hell up. Look at this. I mean, what about this isn't fantastic?
From the train. He's here to
The kid's face looks so dumb.
I can't believe this. I had
Oh, the kid looks so awful.
And finally, at number 1, it's Final Fantasy 15. This
Really? No
is a
Red
game
Dead?
that exists in a world of its own. And
Okay.
I really do mean that. There are things in this world that you just can't see anywhere in real life. All these strange rock
Yeah, but that's
formations and all
because
of
it's a
this.
Final Fantasy game.
Rather sultry. Yeah.
Imperials above us!
Thanks.
This is
However,
how
that
I
being
expect the
said,
Final
for a
Fantasy
game
game
that came out in
to look like.
2016, this could be a game that came out now. There are some incredible cloth physics, incredible foliage for the time, huge draw distances, and stunning vistas in basically every direction you look. While yes, your characters do not look like people who would really be walking around in the world at all, and there is a lot of technology and surrealism that exists in this world that could not exist in our world.
God, the combat was kinda iffy though.
But there is something about this game that just
Warp
can't
strike,
be
warp
replicated.
strike,
And
warp strike.
I'm not
That was
saying
the
there's
only
never
move you
times that
spammed.
it shows its age. There are. But there's times where you can just see things in this game that, I mean, they look photorealistic, but they're not something you could ever see anywhere because it's not stuff that exists.
Couldn't get the fire going. You could have just cast a spell. Kinda overkill, don't you think? Hopeless.
I'm very surprised that they
Driving down
didn't
the
have
highway
like a
on one of
Red
these
Dead
really
game on
weird
here.
rock
I mean,
farms,
Red Dead
I guess.
1,
Looked like the
even though
St.
it's
Louis
a
Arches
very
of
old game,
rock
it's
with
still
these ice
visually quite
blooms
appealing.
and forests off the background. It's
In my
incredible.
opinion,
it manages
it
to
really
look
is.
completely removed from how something looks in this world, and yet so familiar.
And Red Dead
because
2
it
is
all
just even
acts
better.
like it's supposed to, with the light.
And I
with
mean,
the
that's an
fog
old
off in
game.
the distance and the
That's like
reflection.
5 years
Everything is
old.
just beyond top notch. And for most of the story, it really sucks you into this world. Everywhere you go, something is going on.
Yeah,
Everything
2018.
feels real. It's not just.
I'm
that it
surprised
looks
they
like
didn't
this,
have that
but they've
on here.
populated it with people that feel like they're living their lives out. Again, within some limitations, obviously, but this is one of those games that just feels active in a way that many don't. And the graphics are a huge part of that. You feel like there's an entire thing going on in a town that you could easily miss while out
What
in
a
this
way to put it.
expansive wilderness that is this own wild, unpredictable.
I tried
expanse.
fighting
It's
those
not
thingamabobs there, it
parallel
didn't
to
go well.
something else. It
These,
has its
those
flaws.
like stuff
I'm
in the
not
water.
going to say this game
It did
doesn't have
not
its
go
flaws,
well for
but
me.
It's one of those games that really knocks it out of the park despite its flaws. And again, part of it is because look at this. What is there to argue with? This is beautiful. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're
Yeah,
not
it was
subscribed,
quite
it's a
good.
great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day.
Oh, I'll let it finish once I'm done recording. But yeah, this was actually, it really was a good game, and it really was a good video. I'm just very disappointed that they didn't have like a Red Dead game on here. Either Red Dead 1 or Red Dead 2. I mean, they had Metro Exodus or whatever it was. Came out in 2019. Why could they not have Red Dead on here? That would be a #1 spot in my opinion. But let me know if like if I didn't think of a game or he didn't think of a game. Let me know, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.